Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time I drop this. How y'all doing? About a week ago, the nominations, as we all know, for the Academy Awards dropped. Some big shocks and surprises.
Judi Dench in Belfast.
Judi Dench!
Worst person in the world.
Wow.
Penelope Cruz in Parallel Mothers.
Whoa.
And Kristen Stewart.
No! Lady Gaga.
This is so exciting.
Lady Gaga's gone. Who saw that coming? In terms of predicting, I think my prediction score was a 90 out of 120 correct. So not my best score, but definitely not my worst. So I think I'll take it. But now that the Oscar nominations have dropped, it's time to give my predictions on who I think the winners will be come Oscar evening. Who's going to win Best Actress? Will it be Nicole Kidman? Will it be Olivia Colman? Will it be Kristen Stewart making a dramatic comeback? Will Benedict Cumberbatch overtake Will Smith in Best Actor? I'm going to go ahead and share my opinions on who I think is going to win, and I'm going to actually even share some stats with you guys. So let's jump right in with Best Picture. I think we're all pretty much on the same page that the front runner right now is Power of the Dog. It got 12 nominations. It won the Golden Globe. It got pretty much everything it needed, right? It hit director. It got 4 acting nominations. It got editing. It got screenplay nomination. So I think the only caveat, the only thing that's really missing is that SAG Ensemble nomination. But most recently, Parasite won. Shape of Water won without that SAG nominations. Even with that being said, Power of the Dog is in first place. And it's not because so much so of what it does have, but it's also like what the other films missed. Belfast missed editing, right? When you want to win Best Picture, you really want to get that editing nomination. Dune missed director. So there's a few things that each film missed that's kind of a hurdle that they're going to have to hop over. But right now, Power of the Dog really has no major hurdle except that SAG Ensemble nomination. I'm putting Belfast as number 2 because Belfast could easily win the SAG Ensemble, which will be a nice little feather in its cap. But then what if it takes PGA? Then we're going to have to kind of reassess everything. But for me, there's no reason to think that Power of the Dog isn't the front runner right now based on the fact that it got every nomination it needed and because it's not really having to jump a lot of hurdles. After Belfast, I'd probably say Dune because it did get 10 nominations. It's missing director. Green Book overcame that obstacle just recently. So based on the 10 nominations, who knows? Maybe it can, get a Ben Affleck thing, we're mad that Denis got snubbed, so we're going to go ahead and give him Best Picture. Probably not likely because it is a sci-fi film. That can be quite tricky. But because it got 10 nominations, I'm going to go ahead and put that third. And then the rest is really just fill it in. Really. Coda, Drive My Car, Don't Look Up, Nightmare Alley. All 4 of those aren't going to win. It's definitely going to be one of those 6, but Power of the Dog is definitely at the top. Let's move on to Best Director. Now, I really don't want to overthink it. I really feel confident that it's Jane Campion. I feel more confident that Jane Campion is winning director than I do that Power of the Dog is winning picture. I think people do respect Jane Campion and the accomplishment of what she did with Power of the Dog, and I think they're going to want to award her for sure. And whether that tags along with Best Picture is yet to be seen. But for me, I think that Jane Campion as director is more of a certainty than it is for picture. I think she's far away the front runner. I think there is a possibility that Branagh could win DGA, for example, but he didn't get a BAFTA nomination. And here's actually a really good stat, which makes me really feel confident about Jane Campion winning. And that stat is since 2000, there's only been one time that someone has won Best Director at the Oscars that didn't get a BAFTA nomination. And that was Clint Eastwood for $1 Million Baby. So it's only happened one time in the last 21 years or so. So I think that's pretty significant, and that's why I feel pretty comfortable with Jane Campion in the front, Kenneth Branagh in second. All right, guys, moving on to actress. This is easily the toughest category to call. Arguably, it's a 4-person race between Olivia Colman, Nicole Kidman, Jessica Chastain, Kristen Stewart. I think it's a pretty evenly matched 4-person race. This is actually looking very eerily similar to what happened last year, where all the major precursors gave the award to someone else. This year was just such a bizarre year for this category. But you know what? Let's actually do a recap to demonstrate just how freaking bizarre and crazy this Best Actress race was. Coming off many regional critic awards and rave reviews, Kristen Stewart was favored to win Best Actress. However, in early January, the Golden Globes awarded Nicole Kidman over Kristen Stewart. A few days later, the SAG nominations dropped, nominating Jessica Chastain, Olivia Colman, Nicole Kidman, Jennifer Hudson, and Lady Gaga, snubbing Kristen Stewart. Then a few weeks later, BAFTA snubbed Olivia Colman, Nicole Kidman, Jennifer Hudson, Jessica Chastain, and once again, Kristen Stewart. The only actress nominated for Golden Globe, SAG, and BAFTA being Lady Gaga, making her arguably the favorite to win the Oscar. Then, on February 8th, the Academy Awards dropped their nominations, nominating Nicole Kidman, Olivia Colman, Jessica Chastain, Penelope Cruz, but guess who's back? Like a vampire who never dies, Kristen Stewart. The Academy snubbing, that's right, Lady Gaga. Frickin' wild. So in terms of who I think the frontrunner is, it's really quite the toss-up. Arguably, it's a four-person race. I was having a conversation with someone in my last video in the comments section, and he was saying that he thought it was a three-way race between Kristen Stewart, Olivia Colman, and Nicole Kidman, but I actually think it's a four-person race. I definitely would not count out Jessica Chastain. So first I'm going to lay out which each actress has going for her, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick who I think is at the top. So Nicole Kidman, 1 Golden Globe. She's playing a real-life character, Hollywood, beloved Lucille Ball. She's so far the person who won the first major precursor award. So if it repeats at SAG, it could just create that ripple effect. Jessica Chastain, the reason why I'm so tempted that she's going to win is because I really feel like she's the one who really, with the help of a lot of makeup, disappears in the role in the same way that kind of Meryl Streep did in The Iron Lady. And then Olivia Colman is just simply Olivia Colman. She's the only one who's British here. She has a lot of prestige. They like her when she accepts awards. So it's not someone you can count on. And also, you know, the Academy did nominate her and Jessie Buckley as that character. So it makes me feel they're not only embracing kind of Olivia Colman, but they're also embracing that character. And then you have Kristen Stewart, who's kind of a real critic's darling, will probably, in my opinion, win Critics' Choice. And then we're going to be left not knowing whether she's a real threat or not, because she's not going to be able to compete at BAFTA or compete at SAG. So who do I think will win the Oscar for Best Actress? I'm going to go ahead and put Nicole Kidman first. I mean, I just got to do it. She won the Golden Globe. Being the Ricardos did get 3 acting nominations, and it didn't need to. J.K. Simmons did not need to be there. So I'm going to put her first, because if she wins SAG, I think I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable with it. I'm putting Jessica Chastain as number 2, because again, I do think she could potentially pull off an episode at SAG. And then I'm going to go ahead and put Olivia Colman third. And really, Jessica Chastain and Olivia Colman, to be completely honest, are like, I mean, it's like right there. But then I feel comfortable, though, saying that Kristen Stewart, I think, is 4th. And honestly, I can already feel a lot of you like screaming at me through your computer screen on why I'm putting Kristen Stewart 4th. But I've actually given it a lot of thought. And the thing that really I can't get over is her missing SAG. And some of you may not think that's a big deal, but I did a little research because I was curious. But do you guys know how many times someone has won Best Actress without a SAG Ensemble nomination? Do you know how many times it's happened? 0. 0 times. So let me read this to you. Since SAG started in 1994, in its 27-year history, every winner for the Best Actress Oscar got a SAG nomination. Every single year for SAG, ever since it existed. So to me, that's a big hurdle she's got to hop over. That's a big stat she's got to overcome. The race is already so bonkers, like maybe like all the stats are out the window. But for me personally, like this was just such a staggering stat that even if she wins Critics' Choice, like I can't feel comfortable with that. For that alone, I'm putting her 4th. I'm putting her 4th, and because Penelope Cruz missed SAG as well, I'm putting her 5th. So let's talk about Best Actor. I think a lot of us can agree that it's most likely a two-person race between Will Smith and Benedict Cumberbatch. This one is actually a lot closer than a lot of people think. Will Smith has the Golden Globe for drama, and Benedict Cumberbatch is hitting everywhere he needs to hit, as well as Will Smith. So there's really two actors here who are hitting everything they need to hit. They got the Golden Globe nomination, they got the SAG nomination, they got the BAFTA nomination. So the only two actors that did all three of those, Will Smith and Benedict Cumberbatch. So to me, it's between them two. Because Will Smith did win the Golden Globe drama, and 15 out of the last 21 winners of the Golden Globe drama actually went on to win the Oscar. So I'm going to go ahead and put him there. But what's really tricky is that, it looks so eerily similar to what happened last year, which, like Will Smith, Chadwick Boseman, won the Golden Globe. He went on to win SAG, and then BAFTA came. They awarded Anthony Hopkins, and then Oscar night came. Boom, Anthony Hopkins. The race just flipped. So we can easily see that happen. We can see Will Smith win SAG. He won the Golden Globe. And then when BAFTA comes, they can go with Benedict Cumberbatch easily. So if that happens, who do you pick? Who do you go for? And I honestly think that's probably going to happen. I think Will Smith will probably win SAG, and then Benedict Cumberbatch will win BAFTA. And then we're going to be stuck here scratching our heads trying to figure out, is it Will Smith or is it Benedict Cumberbatch? Right now, I am picking Will Smith because he does have the Golden Globe. But if Benedict Cumberbatch wins BAFTA, I'm most likely going to switch. All right, for this one, easiest acting category of the night. I don't think we need to spend that much time talking about it. I think it's Ariana DeBose. She got nominated everywhere she needs. She won the Golden Globe. Unless something wild happens at SAG, like, Kristen Dunst wins or something like that, then we'll have to reassess. But I'm pretty confident that Ariana DeBose has this in the bag. So for Best Supporting Actor, it's really a two-person race. It's between Cody Smith-McPhee for Power of the Dog and Troy Kotsur. So because I think Power of the Dog is going to win Best Picture, I think it's got to win also an acting award. And I think Cody Smith-McPhee currently is that acting award. So I think he will probably win. But if Troy Kotsur wins SAG, for example, my prediction is you're going to start seeing a shift. You're going to start seeing Troy win supporting actor a lot more, and then you're going to see Benedict win a lot more for actor. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that one. For now, I have Cody Smith-McPhee taking Best Supporting Actor. Okay, so that was all the main categories. Let's go ahead and rip through all the other categories, and I'll try to go through these much quicker. Okay, so original screenplay, it's a race between Licorice Pizza and Belfast. I think right now, Licorice Pizza is favorited to win on Gold Derby, but I'm actually going to go ahead and say that I think Belfast will take it. For right now, I have no major awards going to Belfast, and I think they're going to want to award Branagh something, and this is a great way to award Belfast and Branagh at the same time by giving him an award of him writing a story that's very personal to him. Kenneth Branagh wasn't nominated for WGA, but he also wasn't eligible either, so we won't be able to see him compete there. But for right now, I have him winning. A lot of times you'll see the winner of screenplay often has a representation in actor as well, and Licorice Pizza didn't get nominated for any acting. If BAFTA awards Licorice Pizza over Belfast, I'll definitely have more courage to make the switch, but for now, I'm keeping it at Belfast, and I'm keeping Licorice Pizza number 2. For adapted screenplay, I don't think I have to think about this too much. I think it's Power of the Dog. I don't really see an avenue for these other films really winning right now. So I'm going with Power of the Dog. So I know cinematography right now is favorited on Dune, and it makes sense because it kind of resembles a lot of the action-driven winners like 1917 and Blade Runner 2049 and Revenant. But I'm actually going to go with Power of the Dog. I just have this gut feeling that it's going to be Power of the Dog. I'll potentially change it once BAFTA comes back, but for some reason I just feel it in my gut. I have some sort of something's in me that's just saying, Power of the Dog. It's Power of the Dog. All right, let's move over to film editing. Now this one I do think is Dune. I feel more confident about Dune winning film editing than I do definitely cinematography. I just, kind of see it aligning a lot with, really tech-heavy films like Gravity or Mad Max or Dunkirk. My only struggle with this thinking, though, is that usually it's the most editing that wins, and Dune feels to have a little bit more of like a steadier pace than those action movies I named. But I do feel comfortable putting Dune and editing as my first spot. So production design. Production design is actually another really difficult one. I really bounce between Dune and Nightmare Alley for sure. The reason why I struggle with Nightmare Alley is because I think it got only like 4 nominations, and Dune didn't get like 10 nominations, right? So I kind of feel like Dune is probably gonna win, but I'm actually gonna predict Nightmare Alley. I'm predicting Nightmare Alley because Guillermo del Toro films have done well in this category before. I think Pan's Labyrinth won this category. Shape of Water won this category. So, and the production design was also a really big takeaway of Nightmare Alley for me personally. So I'm actually going to go with Nightmare Alley for this. All right, moving on to costume design. I think costume design is pretty comfortably Cruella. It's very fashion-centric film. A lot of great costumes in that. If I had to do a number 2, it would probably be it might be Cyrano, actually, to be honest, because it's a period piece, and Dune is closely right after that as well. I actually could see costume going to any of these nominees, but I feel comfortable saying Cruella's number 1. All right, so moving on to makeup. I really bounce between Tammy Faye and Dune for this. Dune feels very Mad Max, but Tammy Faye feels very Ma Rainey and very Iron Lady-y. So I think I'm going to go with Eyes of Tammy Faye for this one. Obviously the makeup is talked about in Tammy Faye for better or for worse. So I'm going to put that in my number 1 spot. And I'm going to leave it there for a while. And I think it's also possible, if Jessica Chastain wins Best Actress, I think this could be an easy pair up of Jessica Chastain winning Best Actress, and then that kind of swoops up makeup with it. All right, moving on to score. For score, I'm only seriously considering Dune and Power of the Dog. Hans Zimmer won the Golden Globe for Dune, so I think it's possible it can repeat. I mean, Golden Globe actually has a pretty decent history of repeating for original score. I believe it was 9 out of the last 12 times that the person who won score at the Golden Globes repeated at the Oscars. So I'm going to go ahead and keep Dune in my number 1 spot, and then I'm going to put Johnny Greenwood's Power of the Dog at number 2 as a possibility. All right, moving on to sound. I think sound is Dune. I think it usually matches up with visual effects, so that's what I'm going with, Dune. So for Best Original Song, I'm going with No Time to Die. It's a Bond song. Sam Smith won, Adele won. I think this will probably win. Alrighty, visual effects, Dune. That's it. All right, moving on to animated feature. For animated feature, I feel pretty confident that it's Encanto. Encanto also has a score nomination, so I think that helps. So I think Encanto will win. All right, for Best Documentary, I think it's going to be Summer of Soul. I think the challenge was getting the nomination because sometimes the documentary branch always leaves out something really big. But since it got nominated, I think and feel pretty confident that Questlove will win for Summer of Soul. And honestly, it's like one of my favorite movies of the year. Check it out if you can. All right, international film. I think this should be pretty obvious. Drive My Car, got director, got writing, got picture. So it's going to win Best International Film. And for the shorts, I'm going to go ahead and skip those. I haven't had a chance to see them all, and I really want to give you really accurate predictions on those. So once I get a chance to see those, I'll come back and give you my picks on who I think are going to win those. All right, so those are all of my predictions on who I think currently, at this moment in time, will win the Oscar, though these predictions are subject to change. We still have a lot of guilds to go. We got SAG, we got BAFTA, we got Critics' Choice. I'll be sure to give you a really in-depth final prediction Oscar video before Oscar ceremony where I lock in all my predictions. So what do you guys think? Who are you rooting for? Who do you think is going to win Best Actress? Who do you think is going to win Best Actor? Are there any categories that you think I should reconsider? Let me know in the comment section below. I love hearing from you guys. Also, feel free to subscribe if you want to see more Oscar content. I got a lot more videos about the Oscars coming your way, including reactions of SAG and BAFTA and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. All right, well, thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you at the Oscars. All right, so Jessica Chastain, Nicole Kidman, and Olivia Colman.